baby. Here we go. C2, flood right close. Press 34 duo. That's flood on.
This is the New Way Forward Football Scoreboard Show. Football! Every score, every game, every coach. You'll hear it all from this week in high school football. The New Way Forward Football Scoreboard Show on KCIM and Kick 106.7 is also brought to you by Bruner, Reinhardt, and Morton, Feld Fire, Mackey Motors, Outlaw Graphics, DMAC and Carroll, New Way Forward, Gatorade, Curb Appeal, and Motor Inn. Now let's get you caught up with all the scores.
We welcome you into week one of the playoff season. Opening round of the high school football playoffs getting kicked off tonight for you guys, as well as week 9 for classes 3A, 4A,
when
as well as 5A.
When athletes are at peak performance, they need electrolytes and carbs to keep them fueled and in the game. Athletes who give 100% know to reach for Gatorade from Pepsi Beverages of Carroll. From the pros to high school to weekend athletes, Gatorade keeps you hydrated and keeps you in the game. Reach for Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Beverages of Carroll.
Big things are happening at Outlaw Graphics in Carroll. Outlaw Graphics is on the move, literally. They're excited to announce they've expanded into a brand new shop, bringing you more space, more capabilities, and even more ways to help your business, team, or your event stand out. From eye-catching vehicle wraps and commercial signage to custom apparel, if you want your logo on it, they can make it happen. Planning a special event? Make it memorable with personalized t-shirts, koozies, or hats designed just for you. Watch their new space come to life. Follow the excitement on Facebook at Outlaw Signs, Graphics, and Apparel.
We welcome you back to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show as we get set to run through scores of all of the playoff games for tonight, as well as Week 9 of the high school football season. Carroll wrapped up their football season tonight, wrapped up their regular season tonight. They come away with a Class 3A District 6 title. So congratulations goes out to the Carroll Tigers. They pick up a big 35-7 victory tonight at home. And what I don't think most people will see is a doubleheader of high school football played tonight in Carroll at Kemper, also winning 35-0 in their opening round of the playoffs against Grandview Christian. Casey Miners, along with Jim Molitor and Craig Lux in studio with you guys on Kick 106.7 and at KCIM. And guys, first overall thoughts, week 1 of the postseason wrapped up. We're going to have pods coming out tomorrow. Everybody can see those for the top 16 teams that made it. Carroll will figure out where they're going coming up tomorrow morning. But what are your overall thoughts after we wrap up week 1, the opening round of the playoffs?
Well, first of all, congratulations to all our area teams that did make the playoffs. That's quite an accomplishment. The only part of that's not very good was we only had Kemper and Audubon as winners. But congratulations to IKM Manning, ESAC, Arweva, and South Central Calhoun for
the great seasons.
Great seasons. Like when I talked to Brian and Corey, basically said, hey, you had that extra week to be with the kids. They both said they had great weeks of practice, and what more can you ask for?
I just ran into some tough tests in West Lyon and Underwood.
Absolutely,
tough
definitely.
Tests that you can do up there. We'll run you through all the scores, but first I'm going to make it difficult on you guys. We're going to start in 8-man. We'll run through the 8-man playoffs, and then we'll hear from some of our 8-man coaches here in the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show. We'll start with Audubon. They beat Lennox tonight 58-20. Arweva falls to Gladbrook Brinebeck 56-7. It is Coon Rapids Bear going over to Clarksville in a shootout. But Clarksville comes away with a 10-point victory 78-68. And then North Union over GTRA 56-48. Bedford knocks off Wayne at 54-6. And then last one I'll read before we can get everybody else going. Southeast Warren wins 46, Booyer Valley 35.
Class A playoffs.
Run 8-man still here, Craig.
Sorry.
Okay.
We're at Kingsley Pearson and Bishop Garrigan.
Garrigan defeated Kingsley Pearson 57-12. Fremont Mills over St. Edmund 62-7. It was Montezuma getting by East Union 46-28. Easton Valley puts up 80 to Belle Plains 52. Edgewood Colesburg 58. Waco 7. Don Bosco, 54. Collins Maxwell, 10. Woodbine, 78. Exira Elkhorn Kibbleton, 6. Iowa Valley shuts out Moravia, 64-0. Turkey Valley also scores 60, but they defeat Springville 60-15, and Janesville 10 better than Riceville, 44-34.
Those are your 8-man playoff scores from tonight. We'll run you through more scores, but first we're going to talk with Wheeler's head football coach Sean Burks. They picked up a big victory at home as they advanced to the second round of the 8-man playoffs. Ought to have been won tonight, 58-20.
Bruner, Reinhardt & Morton is a general practice law firm that's been providing highly ethical, professional, and dedicated legal services to their clients since 1936 in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. Bruner, Reinhardt & Morton is a 4-attorney firm with a combined 97 years of experience. For more information, call Barry, Dave, Eric, or Jessica at 792-3480 or visit BrunerLegal.com.
Mason Nealon joined here today on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show with head coach Sean Burks here after a big 58-20 win here. Sean, the question I wanted to ask first. You guys strike first with Aiden Kiergaard. Then they take that kick back right after there. What was the sideline talk like after that kick was returned there?
Yeah, it's been a challenge early in the year. We've really emphasized, we just don't have a lot of depth, and we've challenged some of our sophomores, juniors, to really step up and embrace the special teams. And in the last couple of weeks, have been really good, and the Stokes kid's really good. And one guy gets kind of ridden out of the lane, or a headhunter doesn't cross over. We'll see what the film looks like exactly. But all of a sudden, we had too many guys on the outside, and the kid put his foot in the ground, and there's not much left in the middle. So it's a lapse, and it can be costly going forward, and we know that. And that was kind of the emphasis at halftime. Defense played outstanding. Offense after early on kind of got their footing, and special teams was the one-legged behind early. So it was disappointing, but I like the way we bounced back, though.
For you guys as well, you talk about your defense playing really well there. What were the conversations like when it comes to defense there of, we're getting these takeaways and trying to turn them into points there, just keep going, or kind of what was the defensive talks?
Yeah, we knew they were going to test us gap-wise. They were going to try to run inside lead, and they were going to try to run toss to the edge, and then if they went shotgun, they were going to try to either run lead or they'd try to bring the counter tray back the other way. We had a really good scouting report. Our kids were really mature in their focus like they have been all year, and you could kind of hear, even their sideline once said, like, they're calling our plays or whatever it was. So, that shows you how locked in our kids are. But knowing it and understanding it and executing it aren't always the same, and that's a good team over there. So for us to varsity-wise, I don't know that there was a clip in the first half where someone really messed up an assignment or an alignment. There's going to be a broken tackle here or there, or a kid's going to make a great throw or a great catch. Occasionally you're going to have a penalty, but you can bounce back from those. It's when you blow an assignment, you blow an alignment, and you get gashed for the explosive. It happened to us at CRB a couple times. It happened to us at FM a couple times. And that was the challenge of the guys. And I thought our gap integrity from our starting defense was outstanding.
For you guys as well there, I know that you, as a coach, some coaches will sit back in the postseason. If you're up big after halftime, they'll just say, let's just go out there, play football. But for you, I watch you, and you're making adjustments still, and you're giving the guys motivation and saying, let's keep going here. Going into halftime, though, what were kind of the talks like?
We were just a little simple math. We were up 11, getting the ball to the half. We knew the clock was going to spin. We really wanted to go down and score, get it to 17, pretty much lock up that clock wasn't going to stop the rest of the night. So we really didn't want the varsity defense to even come back out of the half. We wanted to get it to 17 with the varsity offense, and then we didn't get it done. And then we got the ball back again and didn't get it done. So that's going to be the challenge and kind of the focus of the offense. We needed to punch that first one in or the second one in where we had a fourth down failure and a punt. That kind of delayed how long the varsity guys had to play. In a game like this, you want to get those guys out. You want to get this game put away early. You want to get the JV in. Anytime you can do that is great any time of the year, but in the playoffs, if you can get that thing wrapped up early, get your guys out healthy, guarantee you're at full strength and firing on all cylinders heading into next week, it's big. So third quarter and second half in general kind of left a bad taste in the mouth. But we have to remember how well they played in the first half and really put it out of reach at that point. So, but our kids are hungry. Our JV kids are going to take that personal, where they, we had the miscue on the fumble, which allowed a scoop and score. We allowed a big running play on the JV defense. We had the ball inside the 5 and didn't score on 4 plays. There's some kids that should be able to make some of those plays. And that's good. The standard is the standard. The expectation is the expectation, and we don't really care who we're playing, where we're playing, if it's varsity, JV, if it's a Monday film session or a Friday game or anything in between. We're going to attack that. Because the standard is the standard, and anytime we're not living up to that standard or the effort or the execution aren't there, we're going to make sure we coach it up and try to even fix it for the next time.
I got to ask you here too. Hayden Larson goes out on 4th down there late in the game. Kid comes flying through for him, jumps it, and Hayden Larson pulls the ball down and runs. What was kind of your thoughts, and how are you feeling when you see one of your biggest guys go out there and take off for a first down?
Yeah. Thankfully, he's more athletic than he was 4 or 5 years ago. If you'd have seen the kid in 6th grade, 7th grade, he got more athletic, he got bigger, he got stronger. Just watching a kid like that was out for junior high track, and his numbers improved dramatically. 7th grade to 8th grade, you started seeing him put really good weight on. You start to see him stretch out. You start to see him have success in other sports. And for a kid like that does so much of the dirty work for us, playing on the line, for him to get a chance and for him to recognize that and execute that was. It's not something exactly that you practice a lot, but he was smart enough to feel that fake or feel that block coming and made the adjustment and picked up a big first down for us.
For you guys as well now, what are going to be the biggest points and keys going into practice for next week?
Yeah, I think it's to be firing on all cylinders in all 3 phases as long and as often as possible. Early on, it was special teams. Second half, it was kind of the subs, on the JV defense. But early on, also our offense wasn't clicking. In the third quarter, the offense wasn't clicking. If you're to grade them, tonight, it's probably our varsity defense is probably an A. Our varsity offense is probably a C+ to a B-, and our special teams unit's probably a C, C-. We need to get all 3 of those in the A-B range so that they can help carry each other at times, and we don't need one unit to do all the carrying. And I thought for tonight, though, the defense carried the load really well.
For you guys as well, I know we talked a little bit before going on here, but do you have any thoughts or predictions on where you may go, or is it just kind of waiting to see all the scores and everything from tonight?
Text me in a couple hours. We'll get the Google Sheet and the Google Earth back out as coaches, and we'll start to toy around with it a little bit. I know the guys at the association will be up all night trying to make sure it gets done right. The last few years, with Jared Cheezick taking over and doing the rankings committees and those steps that the association has made, you've started to see some really good quarterfinal matchups, some really good dome matchups across all classes, and they try to use their rankings to protect their top ranked teams, and then kind of use geography a little bit after that. But the way 8-man is right now, it's interesting because just the way the map shifts a little bit. I know GTRA was playing North Union close. If you take them out, now that map shifts even further to the east. We'll see how Coon and Clarksville does, if that brings a spot back. Southeast Warren and Boyer Valley. You don't know where those dots are going to land, and then who those top seeds are going to be. GTRA loses. Now does Bedford get the right to host instead of maybe travel? There's a lot that can be decided here in the next few hours or whatever is left in some of these games. So we'll see. We'll spend some time as coaches tonight. Looking at it a little bit. We've pulled some huddle film from various teams because it's not super obvious who we're going to get. If we get a certain team or two, we'll have more film ready than if we get others. And regardless, as coaches, at 10 a.m. we'll start diving in before the Hawkeye game at 2:30, and then coaches kind of all do it on their own throughout the weekend, and then make our report. And then on Monday we'll have film with the guys, and we'll hopefully have a scouting report and game plan ready to go for whoever it is. Hopefully it's at our place next week, and hopefully we can come ready to go.
Well, Coach, it's been a pleasure as always to speak to you here today, and thank you for joining us on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate the coverage.
New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas is proud to sponsor our area teams because supporting our communities is what we're all about. When it comes time to buy your next new or used vehicle, look here first. At New Way Ford, you'll find a great selection, fair prices, and a team that makes the car buying process easy, relaxed, and fun. Plus, with free oil changes for life, you can drive with confidence long after the sale. New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas.
We welcome you back to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here on Kick 106.7 and Kick 106.7 and a KCIM. Casey Miners, Jim Mullins are with you as we have wrapped up first week of the Iowa High School football playoffs for Class 2A as well as 1A, A, and 8-man. We'll start in Class 3A, District 6, reading scores for you guys. Carroll knocks off Atlantic at home as they clinch the district title in 3A District 6, 35-7. It's Harlan all over Greene County, 48-0, and Creston beats Perry 54-13.
All right, Class 2A, Kemper shuts out Grandview Christian, 35-0. In a barn burner, Cherokee in overtime defeats Spirit Lake 58-57. Osage gets by Boyden Hull Rock Valley 22-14. Roland Story over Anamosa 28-14. West Branch defeats Denver 22-15. Mid Prairie over North Fayette Valley 34-19. Prairie City Monroe 42, West Liberty 8. Clarinda gets beat by Pella Christian 27-24. OABCIG over Western Christian 34-17. Unity Christian knocks off Okoboji 28-13. Waukon 34, Bellevue 13. Hampton Dumont over Woodward Granger 57-36. Alburnett 13, Crestwood 6. Wilton gets by Dike New Hartford fairly easily 50-14. Mediapolis 28, Centerville 13, and Van Meter 45-6 over South Tama County.
Class 1A first round playoffs. West Lyon ends East Sac season tonight 48-6. South Central Calhoun also falls to Underwood 54-8. It was Lawton Bronson squeaking by Manson Northwest Webster 14-12. EBF gets beat by Grundy Center 57-0. Central Springs falls to Hudson 14-21. Jessup falls to Beckman Catholic 63-13. Northeast gets shut out by Regina 69-0. Shenandoah loses to West Marshall 38-8. Ogden loses to Trainer 49-7. Tri-Center falls to Ridgeview 42-27. Hinton over top of Emmetsburg 34-28. Comanche falls to South Hardin 35-7. Union Community falls to Cascade 45-27. I-35 loses to Sigourney Keota 45-0. Durant Pleasantville 42, and in Clarion Goldfield Dows and Columbus Catholic, Clarion wins 48-27.
We'll turn the page to Class A for the first round of the playoffs. ICAM Manning falls on the road at West Sioux tonight, 45-27. MMCRU gets by Belmont Clemmy, 49-7. It's also West Hancock falling at home to Galen Catholic, 34-18. West Hancock, first time they do not make the Dome, the Final Four Dome, and since 2020 they lose at home in the opening round of the playoffs tonight. It is St. Ansgar over East Marshall, 47-0. Wapsie Valley gets by Starmount, 50-3. Linville Soley gets past Wapello in a shutout, 42-0. It's Pekin over Earlham, 42-7. ACGC knocks off Loma at home, 33-7. HSTW falls on the road to Woodbury Central, 21-14. Newman Catholic loses at home to Sibley Oshedon at 41-35. West Fork and Nasha Plainfield in an overtime thriller. West Fork wins that one 25-23. Northland gets by Columbus Catholic tonight 59-14, and then it's Maquoketa Valley over Danville 43-0. Madrid at home knocks off North Butler 48-8. BGM on the road in a close one knocks off Riverside in a game of two really good offenses and two really good players in Bo Burns and Jackson Gordon, 35-30. BGM wins that one. And then Mount Air and St. Albert in a track meet. Mount Air wins that one 55-47.
All right, 8-man playoffs. We have 3 teams from the area. Audubon gets the victory over Lennox, 58-20. Gladbrook Rhinebeck takes care of Arweva, 56-7. In a shootout, Clarksville gets by Coon Rapids Baird 78-68. GTRA falls to North Union 56-48. Bedford 54, Wayne 6. Southeast Warren gets past Boyer Valley 46-35. Bishop Garrigan defeats Kingsley Pearson 57-12. Fremont Mills all over St. Edmund 62-7. It was Montezuma defeating East Union 46-28. Easton Valley puts up 80 points to Belle Plaine, 52. Edgewood Colesburg 58, Waco 7. Don Bosco gets by Collins Maxwell 54-10. Woodbine all over Exira Elkhorn Kimmelton 78-6. Iowa Valley shuts out Moravia 64-0. Turkey Valley scores 60 to Springville's 15. And Janesville in a close one over Riceville 44-34.
That is all the playoff scores from Class 2A as well as 1AA and an 8-man. We'll step away, take a break. We'll hear from head coach Ryan Steinkamp. The Kemper Knights, they pick up a big victory to opening round of the playoffs, 35-0 over Grandview Christian.
Skip the ladder and hassle this holiday season. Let Curb Appeal of WCI light up your home. Hi, this is Scott. Our team custom installs bright, energy-efficient LED lights cut to the perfect length. Go for a clean, solid glow or a dazzling pattern that will wow the whole neighborhood. When the season ends, we'll take them down and store them for you next year, and back it with a 1-year warranty. Looking for something long-term? Ask about our permanent lighting system, perfect for holidays, game days, or any season. Curb Appeal, holiday lights, made hassle-free. Call 712-210-9580 today.
New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here tonight on KCIM and Kick. Talking right now with Ryan Steinkamp, the head coach for the Kemper Knights. They pick up a 35-0 victory here tonight against Grandview Christian, advancing in the opening round of the postseason. Coach, wasn't pretty all the time, but the defense was fantastic. I think 7 or 8 turnovers tonight.
Yeah, I thought the defense was locked in, did a great job too. They have a really good quarterback, a really good receiving crew out there too. So yeah, I was really proud of the way our defense played. And offense, they definitely came after us, and we got to get better. But I really thought we responded well too. We got to put some drives together, put some plays together, and that's just great to see our kids battle some adversity and play through it.
Were you surprised at how quick they were able to get pressure against you guys tonight with their defensive line?
We kind of saw it on film. We really did. We scouted them and everything like that, so we knew that they'd be aggressive, and they're small and quick, and sometimes that's tough when we haven't seen that style of defense all year.
Talk about what adjustments you guys made to that, and what you guys were able to do to even score on those first 2 drives when things weren't always crisp on those first 2 drives.
I was getting the ball quick. We talk about on offense, we just want to take what's there, hit some spots, and I thought the O-line gave us enough time, and Brock made some good decisions in there.
Talk about the defense tonight, 8 turnovers. What did you see from them? How were they able to create so many turnovers?
I thought the D-line played great, too. And we talked a lot about being physical and gang tackling, and our DBs, we kind of said, they run some really good routes. We kind of said keep it in front of you, and the pressure to the D-line, to the linebackers, collision to them, is all 3 levels doing a great job.
Coach, up 21-0 at a halftime. What was kind of the message to the guys at the halftime?
I would say we got to play cleaner. Defensively, I thought we did a pretty good job. Offensively, I think we just had to find each other a little bit more. Our communication wasn't as good too, or we definitely had some self-inflicted wounds in there too. But we kind of said we got to pick our heads up. Next play, find each other, and I thought we did a great job that second half.
Had a couple of different guys in the offensive line tonight. What did you see from them, and how did they gel as the game went on?
I thought overall they did a good job. That's always a challenge. I new guys in there too, but I thought those guys that stepped up really did a nice job. They were communicating, and especially seeing a team like that bring all that pressure. Overall they stepped up. It was a challenge.
What did you see from the running game tonight, especially when Jiren was in the game?
I thought just running hard. We knew it's gonna be a game where we're not gonna bust off big ones. It's gonna be 3-4 yards at a time, keep those sticks moving type deal.
had to put a couple of different guys in with Jaron kind of banged up as this game went on. What did you see from Brayton and Talon back in the backfield?
I thought they did a nice job, too. They get some reps during practice at that spot, too. We're prepared for that. Overall, I thought they did a nice job of just running the ball, yeah.
Let's talk about Brayton Alford a little bit. Outstanding on both sides of the ball for you. What has made him such a good footballer on both sides of the ball this year?
He's just dynamic. He's got really good space awareness. He finds open spots on offense. He's got great hands. He's got really good balance and speed, and kind of defensively too. He knows, he knows the routes to kind of running, getting in those windows, and making good plays.
Went for it on fourth lot tonight. What kind of goes into that decision?
I trust our kids. There's probably a time I probably should have punted it, but I trust our kids too. We want to be aggressive. So yeah, that's just that's just how we kind of play football.
Coach, as you guys got that in the continuous clock, with Braxton Vanami, I think it was about a 60-yard interception return for the touchdown. Kind of chat with that interception and what that allowed you guys to be able to do getting up with the continuous clock.
Yeah, that was huge. Getting that running clock going too. And it's a great play by Braxton. He had a great play on the ball. He had a great night on offense, and defense. Really proud of how he played. That was just huge. That allowed us to sub some guys in and get that clock moving a little bit too. And now excited that Carroll High can start the game a little bit earlier. And best of luck to them.
Concerned at all with some of the nicks that you guys had tonight with some guys maybe sitting earlier in the game?
It's part of the game. Right. We talked earlier. This time of year, guys, like it's the next guy in. There's no saving you. Like we're gonna, there's no point saving you guys. Like we're about one game at a time too. So we had that talk about we're gonna play our guys and everybody else. We're only about 2 deep across the board. Like everybody is 1 play away from getting in. And I thought those guys that stepped up tonight did a great job.
Well, Coach, appreciate you joining us. We'll talk to you again coming up tomorrow morning.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Head coach Ryan Steinkamp again joining us here on the New Way Forward Scoreboard Show. Feld Fire of Carroll is the choice of homeowners and business professionals. They chose Feld Fire because of the local and prompt service, 24/7 technician support, and the ability to control their security device from their mobile device. That makes keeping your property safer even easier. A professional Feld representative can help you create a protection plan for your home or business. No matter what you're trying to protect, they've got you covered. Feld Fire of Carroll, proud supporters of our area high school athletes.
We welcome you back to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here on Kick 106.7 and at KCIM. Just heard from Ryan Steinkamp, head coach of the Kemper Knights. We got more interviews coming up for you as well. We'll talk with our Weaver Rockets head coach, Austin Stolk. They lose tonight to Gladbrook-Rhinebeck 56-7. Rockets were in that one early on, but Gladbrook-Rhinebeck able to pull away and come out with a victory. Austin Stolk, head coach, Rockets. When we come back here on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show.
Thinking about your future? The DMAC Carroll campus is a smart choice. Get a quality education at an affordable price close to home. Join student organizations, meet new friends, and get involved. You'll find supportive staff guiding you every step of the way and expert faculty ready to share their knowledge and real-world experience. Kickstart your education today at the Carroll DMAC campus. Call 712-792-1755. DMAC, life's calling.
Welcome to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show. This is Craig Lux here with Coach Austin Stolk, head man for the Weaver Rockets. Had a tough night tonight against a very good Gladbrook-Rhinebeck team. Coach, give us a little recap.
Yeah, thanks for having me. First quarter, we were able to move the football on the ground. We were down 12-7 at the end of the first. Halftime, second quarter was a little bit of a, it was tough. We didn't execute our 2-minute offense, and the score was 20-7 at the 3-minute mark in the second quarter, and we had 2 turnover on downs in that last 3 minutes, and they ended up capitalizing with 3 scores in that last 3 minutes of the half to make the score 42-7. And then the third quarter is 49-7. And then the final ended up 56-7. So it was a matter of we were able to move the football on the ground at times. We just couldn't sustain drives and punch in the end zone.
All right, Coach, and you guys had a really tough season with a tough district. You guys kind of all beat up on each other for second, third, and fourth in that division. And you guys had some real nice standouts this year. Talk a little bit about some of your standouts.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, you got a group of seven seniors who are great leaders for you, and basically 5 of them guys have been through the ringer for 4 years. They've been through a lot of ups and downs, and just statistically tonight, Wyatt Regaller had 126 rushing yards on 19 attempts, and he had distance for and Jonathan Reisman, it's been nice having him back. The deserving kid who had an injury this season, and it's tough to see any kids go out with injuries, but when you got a senior leader do it, it was good to see him come back. So, it's a resilient group that we've been through some ups and downs, but the guys stayed the course, and we got better each and every single week, and I'm going to be more proud of these guys.
Absolutely, Coach. They battled hard every week, and you got a little taste of the playoffs this year, and something to kind of build on with those younger kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's you go back to the leadership point, and it's nice to have the senior leadership of 7 guys. Because younger guys understand what it takes to get to this level. It's a long season, it's a group season, and to be healthy and make the playoffs and be healthy in game 1 of the playoffs it says a lot about what you do in the preseason and what you do to take care of your bodies, and we had some good guys to set that example. So looking forward to having these young guys back, but we're definitely going to miss those 7 seniors.
Yeah, those 7 definitely the core for you this year, and knowing some of those kids coming up through the years, you had a great group there, and you should have, some great things to build off of from those 7. So congratulations again on making the playoffs this year, Coach, and we'll be watching patiently and waiting for next season to start up so we can talk some more.
Thank you guys for all your coverage, and it's been a great season. We got a great community that supports us, and our guys, in hindsight, do a lot for the community as well. So just a great group of guys, and couldn't be more proud of them. Thanks a lot.
All right, best of luck to you, Coach. Thanks again from New Way Auto Group Show. This is Craig Lux with head coach Austin Stolk, and we'll go back to the show. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas is proud to sponsor our area teams because supporting our communities is what we're all about. When it comes time to buy your next new or used vehicle, look here first. At New Way Ford, you'll find a great selection, fair prices, and a team that makes the car buying process easy, relaxed, and fun. Plus, with free oil changes for life, you can drive with confidence long after the sale. New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas.
Feld Fire of Carroll is the choice of homeowners and business professionals. They chose Feld Fire because of the local and prompt service, 24/7 technician support, and the ability to control their security device from their mobile device. That makes keeping your property safer even easier. A professional Feld representative can help you create a protection plan for your home or business. No matter what you're trying to protect, they've got you covered. Feld Fire of Carroll, proud supporters of our area high school athletes.
When athletes are at peak performance, they need electrolytes and carbs to keep them fueled and in the game. Athletes who give 100% know to reach for Gatorade from Pepsi Beverages of Carroll. From the pros to high school to weekend athletes, Gatorade keeps you hydrated and keeps you in the game. Reach for Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Beverages of Carroll.
From bump, set, spike to the crack of the bat, at Motor Inn of Carroll, we love our high school sports. And we love the opportunities to support our local schools, athletes, coaches, and parents. Through the hard work of our kids, we get the enjoyment of watching and listening to their activities. Other life lessons, like teamwork and citizenship, help create outstanding young women and men we are so proud to sponsor. Good luck to all of our local sports teams. From Motor Inn of Carroll.
We are back on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here on Kick 106.7 as well as 1380 AM, 95.1 FM at KCIM. Week 9 and also the first round of the playoffs officially wrapped up tonight for all of the football classes. We'll run you through the scores for tonight, and we'll get you to the top of the hour and hear from more coaches as well as wrap around to some more scores as well. We'll start in Class 3A, District 6. 3 scores to report. Carroll knocks off Atlantic for that district championship tonight, 35-7. Harlan beats Greene County 48-0, and then Creston gets by Perry 54-13.
All right, Class 2A playoffs. The Kemper Knights shut out Grandview Christian 35-0. In an overtime thriller, Cherokee gets just past Spirit Lake 58-57. Osage defeats Boyden Hall Rock Valley 22-14. Roland Story doubles up Anamosa 28-14. West Branch over Denver 22-15. Mid Prairie 34, North Fayette Valley 19. Prairie City Monroe over West Liberty 42-8. Pella Christian just gets by Clarinda 27-24. OEB CIG defeats Western Christian 34-17. Unity Christian dumps Okoboji 28-13. Waukon 34, Bellevue 13. Hampton Dumont defeats Woodward Granger 57-36. In a close one, Alburnett 13, Crestwood 6. Wilton defeats Dike New Hartford 50-14. Mediapolis 28, Centerville 13. And Van Meter all over South Tama 45-6.
Class 1A starts with East Sac up against number 1 West Lyon. They dropped a tough one tonight, 48-6. South Central Calhoun lost to Underwood 54-8. Lawton Bronson squeaks by Manson Northwest Webster 14-12. EBF gets shut out against Grundy Center 57-0. Central Springs loses to Hudson 21-14. Beckman Catholic all over Jessup tonight 63-13. Regina shuts out Northeast 69-0. West Marshall all over Shenandoah 38-8. Trainer walks away from Ogden 49-7. Tri-Center loses to Ridgeview 42-27. And it was Hinton over top of Emmetsburg 34-28. Comanche drops to South Hardin 35-7. Clarion Goldfield Dows all over Columbus Catholic 48-7. Union Community drops to Cascade 45-27. I-35 gets shut out against Sigourney Keota 45-0. And Durant gets beat by Pleasantville 42-14.
Turn the page to the Class A playoffs from tonight. ICAM Manning, the only local team participating in the Class A playoffs, they lose on the road to West Sioux tonight, 45-27. West Hancock loses at home to Galen Catholic tonight, 34-18. It's MMCRU all over Belmont Clemmy, 49-7. St. Ansgar beats East Marshall, 47-0. Wapsie Valley gets by Starmount, 50-3. Linville Soley shuts out Wapello, 42-0. Pekin beats Earlham 42-7. ACGC at home gets by Loma 33-7. It's Woodbury Central in a close one against AHSTW Vivoca 21-14. Woodbury Central wins. Sibley Osheten over Newman Catholic 41-35. West Fork in overtime beats Nasha Plainfield 25-23. North Limb blows out Columbus Catholic tonight 59-14. Maquoketa Valley over Danville 43-0. Madrid all over North Butler 48-8. BGM and Riverside in a close one in a tight contested ball game. BGM wins 35-30. And then Mount Ayr and St. Albert in a shootout. Mount Ayr wins 55-47.
All right, in the 8-man playoffs, 3 of our local teams in action tonight. Audubon comes out victorious over Lennox 58-20. Arweva falls to Gladbrook Rhinebeck 56-7. And the Coon Rapids Baird Crusaders in a close one are defeated by Clarksville 78-68. It was North Union 56, GTRA 48. Bedford all over Wayne 54-6. Southeast Warren gets by Boyer Valley 46-35. Bishop Garrigan 57, Kingsley Pearson 12. Fremont Mills defeats St. Edmunds 62-7. Montezuma gets by East Union 46-28. Easton Valley puts up 80 points to Belle Plaine, 52. Edgewood Colesburg 58, Waco 7. Don Bosco 54, Collins Maxwell 10. Woodbine over Exire Elkhorn Kimmelton 78-6. Iowa Valley shuts out Moravia 64-0. Turkey Valley scores 60 to Springville's 15, and Janesville by 10 over Riceville 44-34.
We will step away, take a break. We got the top of the hour coming up. We'll talk with more coaches when we come back on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show.
When you need to know, KCIM is the place to listen on 1380 AM and 95.1 FM.
This is KCIM Carroll.
Fast and fearless, baby. Here we go. C2, flood right close. Press 34-20. That's flood on.
This is the New Way Forward Football Scoreboard Show. Football! Every score, every game, every coach. You'll hear it all from this week in high school football. The New Way Forward Football Scoreboard Show on KCIM and Kick 106.7 is also brought to you by Bruner, Reinhardt, and Morton, Feld Fire, Mackey Motors, Outlaw Graphics, DMAC and Carroll, New Way Forward, Gatorade, Curb Appeal, and Motor Inn. Now let's get you caught up with all the scores.
We welcome you back to hour number 2 of the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here on Kick 106.7 as well as the KCIM. Nathan Lindsay at Coon Rapids Baird got caught up with him after he picked up, the Crusaders, lost tonight to Clarksville 78-68. It was a shootout. We'll talk with Coach Lindsay coming back here on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show.
New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas is proud to sponsor our area teams because supporting our communities is what we're all about. When it comes time to buy your next new or used vehicle, look here first. At New Way Ford, you'll find a great selection, fair prices, and a team that makes the car buying process easy, relaxed, and fun. Plus, with free oil changes for life, you can drive with confidence long after the sale. New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas.
It's the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show on KCIM and Kick 106.7. Over 1,100 yards of total offense tonight for these two teams, 146 points, 8-man postseason. Unfortunately for Coon Rapids Baird, they fall tonight in Clarksville, 78-68, and Nathan Lindsay, first-year head coach, joins us. Coach, what a night you guys had. It feels like in the grand scheme of things, there were a few penalties here and there. The defensive stops proved to be elusive, but your offense, they certainly left it all on the field tonight. Just couldn't get the stop when you needed it, and you fall by 10. But first postseason for the Crusaders in 6 years, and you put up 68. Give me your thoughts on the night overall.
Yeah, overall, the night, obviously we didn't come out on the winning side, but, overall our guys just battled the whole night. Got down early in that first half, came back, tied it up at halftime, and then just that second half was back and forth. Got to double digits, then we would call back in, and then just, knockout punch after knockout punch. So, all in all, we just didn't, execute the way I would have liked. It kind of our biggest bugaboo all year. Just didn't do our job consistently, and it showed tonight.
Early in the going, 2-point tries were working for Clarksville. First quarter, 16-12. They're converted 2 tries. You guys went 0 for 2. But first play of the game, you guys come out and you find Hoffman open over the middle of the field, and he takes it 62 yards for the touchdown, and you have a 6-0 lead, 13 seconds in. How'd you feel coming out like that?
Yeah, obviously, we didn't necessarily draw it up to be like that, but the way our offense is, there's multiple reads, all that stuff. So the last game we had against Glidden, I thought all 3 levels of our offensive game was good. Our run, passing, and then just Tucker reading right, and he pulled it and made the right read, and that's what happened, scoring 13 seconds of the game.
They answer with a rushing touchdown from their backup running back, and then you guys go 45 seconds later from that even, Ethan Bauer gets his first of 4 touchdowns tonight. That first half, he was just unstoppable. Finished the night with almost 3 first half. What was working so well for him as they had no answers for him especially?
Yeah, what was working in that first half was just our line and Ethan doing what they've been doing all year. Those would be 5 guys gel really well together. Again, we got our line figured out from a year ago, which then makes Ethan's job a lot easier when there's holes to run through. Just Ethan runs hard, and then our line, had been doing what they do all year, just create holes for our very talented backfield, and it showed in that first half.
So after the first quarter, when it was 16-12, it felt like it could be a track meet. It could who has the ball last, and you guys kept answering each other. The first miss for you guys of the night came at the end of the first quarter into the second quarter when they were able to get back-to-back touchdowns. You guys were driving and I think had a 4th down and 1 run that was called off on a holding call, and then I think the next play was maybe incomplete or whatever it was. It was a turnover on downs that they were able to answer. Did it feel like at that point 2-point tries and just getting defensive stops, whoever could do that the most might come out with the win tonight, or what were you guys thinking there early in that second quarter?
We just were thinking, just because we got stalled out on one drive doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And then on the other side of the ball with defense, it just the whole message the whole night was, hey, just get us the couple stops we need. Obviously, we didn't have any trouble putting points up, but it was that type of thing where it's just, hey, we just need 1 stop, 1 or 2 stops. Again, just speaking on that first half, they couldn't stop Ethan, so it wasn't anything special that we were doing offensively. It was a lot of our bread and butter plays that we've been running since the beginning of August. So it just the whole message overall was just keep battling because that's been kind of the team message this year. We constantly battle. We don't get too high, we don't get low. So that was just kind of the message on both sides of the ball.
Early in the second quarter, you guys were down 22-12, but you were able to drive about a 5.5-minute drive, and then you capped it off with Gavin Heiderscheit, kind of a pass over the middle, and then he shook off a defender for a 15-yard touchdown, and you convert the 2-point try. So you're back within 2 at that point. And then things got wild at the end of that second quarter. They go down the field on a 43-yard touchdown pass. You guys take it 48 yards, I think, on maybe the very next play with an Ethan Bauer run. And then in the final 92 seconds of the first half, we saw 4 touchdowns. You had another Bauer touchdown, 36-yarder, and then he capped off a 35-yarder with 12 seconds left. So between 50 seconds to go in the first half and halftime, Ethan Bauer ran for about 71 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they had a kick return touchdown in between that they muffed, but were able to find a seam, take it the distance. I know 8-man can get crazy, but that last minute of the second quarter felt like it was crazy, even for you.
Yeah, no, that 100% felt crazy, and I think that basically sums up 8-man football in a nutshell, just the scoring left and right. But, yeah, I mean, just sometimes you just kind of got to shake your head and just roll with the punches. I mean, we scored, and then they scored, and then that kick return thing, just one of those as a coach on the sideline, just kind of shaking your head because it was one of those just craziness where you just got to take a breath for a second and just process what the heck just happened.
With about a minute and a half to go there, you were down 10. You go into halftime, 42-42, and then at the half, what was the locker room like? What was the conversation like? And ultimately, what do you think you guys needed to do coming out in that third quarter? That was when Clarksville kind of took control of the game. They outscored you 30-12 in the third quarter, and then you guys were just kind of playing catch up from there.
Yeah, the message at halftime was, hey, this is just a 0-0 ball game. I mean, obviously with the tie score, it basically is 0-0. We knew our defense was going to come out, try and get us to stop, set the tone. Because, again, our offense wasn't the issue tonight. We just, again, didn't execute, didn't get as many stops as we needed to. And then, just self-inflicted wounds, not doing our job, not wrapping up tackling, not executing on the offensive side. Again, I think that's when that third quarter got away from us. And all in all, we couldn't quite claw back in it there at the end.
They were able to put, I think, 4 touchdowns on the board in that third quarter. You guys were able to put 2, and the first one was a 50-yard run from Tucker Lewis, and then you get another Huffman 16-yard touchdown catch later in the quarter. So Lewis making plays with his legs and with his arm in the third. As a freshman, as the backup, 5 touchdowns in a playoff game, and he did have an interception, but essentially you can't fault him. It's a Hail Mary on the last play of the first half with 3 seconds left. Might as well call it, a no turnover kind of night, but he had to impress you the last few weeks filling in for Caden, who's been dinged up, and he played so well tonight too.
Yeah, I'm just really proud of Tucker stepping into the freshman first off when Caden got banged up, getting thrown to the wolves against Woodbine and Audubon. I was a little worried about his confidence, but he came out against Glidden and played his best football. And obviously before tonight, I think tonight was his best football game. So it was just really good the whole season to see Tucker grow and grow into what he's doing and process the offense and whatnot. And these last 2 games he's had, he's done it all, running, using his legs and using his arm.
You get 2 more touchdowns in the fourth quarter as you entered the fourth, trailing 72-54. And that was a big moment. You guys were down 18, so for the first time all night, you were down more than 2 possessions. You knew not only were you going to need the stops that you've needed all night, you're going to have to tack another one on there with the 2-point tries just kind of working in their favor. But you get a great play. I think it was even 4th down to the end zone. Max Sherburne somehow lays out and gets his hands underneath it for the catch. That gets you guys back within 10. They score again, and then you guys find Bennett Heiderscheit over the middle of the field, kind of two routes toward the same area of the field, and it took down one of your receivers and both of their defenders, and Heiderscheit, he had an opening the rest of the way. It worked out, but 78-68, that's how we get to the final score. Overall thoughts on the comeback attempt, what you guys needed down the stretch, and just overall thoughts on the night.
Overall, that last quarter we knew we were going to have to battle again, our biggest deficit of the whole game. So again, kind of like what happened in the first half, just told the guys to keep battling on both sides of the ball. Again, with as explosive as our offense is, that was never a doubt. And again, defensively, it was just, hey, just get us the 1 stop we need, like 1 to 2 stops we need, because again, we're right back in it, we're calling back in it. Those couple crazy plays at the end got us back in it. And again, all in all, just didn't quite execute the way we wanted to defensively. That's, again, biggest bugaboo this year, just not doing the little things right on both sides of the ball. Again, I know offense put up as many points as they did, but there were times where we didn't execute either. So it's not just one-sided. Again, a big team just didn't do our job and didn't execute. But, again, I told the guys, I'm proud of them for where we came this season. And so, all the guys we bring back, they know we got work to do. So I'm sure this won't be our last time in a playoff game.
A 5-4 record overall. You made the playoffs for the first time since 2019 as your first year as head coach. You lose some key seniors, obviously, but a very freshman-heavy team overall. That's got to have you pretty excited the way Lewis and McAllister and some of your other freshmen played.
Yeah, I'm excited. This core 4, a freshman I knew coming in was going to be a good athletic group, and it was only a matter of when they would be playing consistent varsity minutes instead of if. And obviously, again, I think towards the back half of the season, they all 4 were playing, starting on both sides of the ball and whatnot. And then throw those guys in with the other guys that we bring back. Again, I know we lose 9 seniors and we lose some very good key parts, but we'll be just fine with the guys we bring back. So I'm excited to see, what happens in the off season and obviously what next season brings. But again, I couldn't be more proud of this group for, laying the foundation of what this program can be.
A great effort from you guys. 78-68, the final score. Clarksville on top. Coach Lindsay, appreciate your time here on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show, and congrats on a great season.
Yeah, thank you.
We're back next with more on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show on Kick 106.7 and KCIM. I'm Nick Brinks in Clarksville.
Big things are happening at Outlaw Graphics in Carroll. Outlaw Graphics is on the move, literally. They're excited to announce they've expanded into a brand new shop, bringing you more space, more capabilities, and even more ways to help your business, team, or your event stand out. From eye-catching vehicle wraps and commercial signage to custom apparel, if you want your logo on it, they can make it happen. Planning a special event? Make it memorable with personalized t-shirts, koozies, or hats designed just for you. Watch their new space come to life. Follow the excitement on Facebook at Outlaw Signs, Graphics, and Apparel.
We welcome you back to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here on Kick 106.7 and a KCIM. Just heard from Nathan Lindsay, head coach of the Coon Rapids Bayard Crusaders. They fall tonight in their opening round playoff game, a 78-68 to Clarksville. Good season for Coon Rapids Bayard. Won one game last year, come back and win 5 games this year, so a very good season under year one of head coach Nathan Lindsay. Speaking of a good season, we'll talk with Carroll Tigers head coach Craig Roeder as they wrap up a Class of 3A district title tonight at home against Atlantic. Again, we'll be back with Coach Roeder here on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show.
Skip the ladder and hassle this holiday season. Let Curb Appeal of WCI light up your home. Hi, this is Scott. Our team custom installs bright, energy-efficient LED lights cut to the perfect length. Go for a clean, solid glow or a dazzling pattern that will wow the whole neighborhood. When the season ends, we'll take them down and store them for you next year, and back it with a 1-year warranty. Looking for something long-term? Ask about our permanent lighting system, perfect for holidays, game days, or any season. Curb Appeal, holiday lights made hassle-free. Call 712-210-9580 today.
Thinking about your future? The DMAC Carroll campus is a smart choice. Get a quality education at an affordable price close to home. Join student organizations, meet new friends, and get involved. You'll find supportive staff guiding you every step of the way and expert faculty ready to share their knowledge in real-world experience. Kickstart your education today at the Carroll DMAC campus. Call 712-792-1755. DMAC, life's calling. Anyway, Auto Group Scoreboard Show here tonight on Kick and KCIM. I'm talking right now with district champion head football coach Craig Roeder from the Carroll Tigers. They roll by Atlantic tonight to clinch that district championship 35-7. Coach, that's got a nice ring to it. Congratulations. How do you like that sound?
Thanks. Yeah, it sounds great, but again, it all due to having great kids playing and blessed with great assistant coaches. So again, fortunate to be in the situation, but yeah, kids played awesome tonight. It was great.
You knew this was going to be a hard-fought physical ball game. You're up 14-7 at halftime. You were able to control the McNeil kid, didn't really let him go, and they didn't use McLaren a bunch there early in that first half. So what did you think of the defensive effort in the first half tonight?
Defense was awesome. I was mad at myself, got a little greedy because we forced a turnover, and then we gave it right back to them. And then we had another turnover, which led to their score. So at halftime, it wasn't a bunch of major adjustments. We just we gave them 2 turnovers, and again, as a good team would, took advantage of it, and that's how they got their touchdown. So if we just don't get, and the message was too for defense, just don't give up the big play. And I thought our guys did a nice job all night keeping everything in front of them.
Offense got rolling right away. Camden King on the very first play kind of set the tempo, I thought, for the rest of the game.
Yeah, we saw that. I thought, again, Camden's tough.
He's quick.
Yeah, and he was one of our fastest. He got a little dinged in the track season. Otherwise, I think more people would know that he's quick. And it's when you can add that +1 in the run game with your quarterback, it's tough to defend. And then it doesn't go without saying, you had Lincoln Burke and Chase Shable on the outside blocking their tails off.
Yep.
So it isn't a one-man deal, but it's great.
It's interesting because I always like talking with you because you always say if I find a play and they can't stop it, I'm going to keep running it. They stuffed, I think it was your inside trap the first time you run it tonight, but you come right back to it. You just flip sides, and all of a sudden it started to work for you.
Yeah, I'm a little stubborn. But again, my guys, we knew it was going to be a physical battle.
Right.
But I do think, with Tanner and Gavin and Pooty and Looters and even Brody Daniel, when they get India for a whole half and then a third quarter, it wears on you, and that's just kind of what we were able to do.
You get the ball to Gavin Holt down there at the 1, let the big guy score. He had to kind of have a little fun with that.
We put that in. We put a little power ice at it this week, and I really didn't. I wasn't planning on it, but since we were at the 1, I figured.
Is that his first carry?
That is his first carry, so he can go. He'll probably be begging for more, but I'll try to talk him into 1 for 1 and a touchdown, go out on top. But no, and again, he deserved it, I guess. For as much running as he does when he pulls, and it wasn't planned, but it was a good way to start.
Second half comes out, they get the football first, you turn them over on downs, and you take advantage of that. How huge was that to maybe gain complete control of this game? Because I thought, even though it was 14-7 at halftime, you guys looked like the much better team.
Yeah, and and I think now you're going to test my memory. Did we have a fake punt on that?
On that possession. Yep.
Yeah.
That was the
so
possession. Yep.
We were kind of in. It wasn't great, and it was a ways to go. I think it was 4th and 8. But man, I'm confident in Coach Shable's.
Was he the one that called that?
Yeah, Coach Shable has 2 to 3, and that's what we stress special teams. We ran a couple different swinging gates on the extra point, but he'll look at me, and I didn't even hesitate. I said, "Yep, run it." And then Adam, I ended up with a pretty big gain.
24,
and that,
I think it was.
Yeah, and that took the wind out of their sails a little bit, especially then when we finished it off.
Yeah, talk about needing to finish that, because if you wouldn't have scored on that, it probably wouldn't have been as big a deal.
Right. Yeah, and then again, now you got that 2 possession lead, which you don't want them to relax, but it is. It's a nice, and plus after that, I think we were able to chunk them, with the run game, and then again, once my offensive line gets confidence, they're rolling.
Matt Collison, a couple of interceptions in the second half. Talon Crandall finishes it off with another interception. So the defense creating turnovers in the second half. You'll need that probably as you make a run in the postseason.
Definitely, and I think Coach Wardell, I think Talon's had an interception every game he's started now at safety.
Nice.
So, for someone that wasn't in the mix right away and played JV early in the season, he's come on, and that's. And again, I think I said it last week. Getting Mac back out for football, and just an athlete. So he was. I think he'll probably admit it that he was glad he's pretty tight with Michael. So I had a little pull this summer and getting him on the football field.
Adam Malik breaks that 74-yarder. It was over before that, but that was a nice icing on the cake.
Yeah, and he worked hard. All the first half. And again, I mean, Atlantic's really well coached. He was the focal point, and he had to know, we went around him a little bit in that first half, but I think that first drive, or maybe it was that second touchdown drive, we just hammered him down for a lot of yards, and then to see him pop that big one just to kind of showcase his big playability.
So I got to go back. I think it was the second touchdown drive, maybe everything to the left side. I think every single play was to the left side. What'd you guys see that you were just going to the left side that whole drive?
I'm just gonna be honest. I'm mean. So they had to rotate one of their D linemen out because he was tired, and
took advantage.
As long as one kid was out, and it's not just this game. I do that quite a bit. I'm guilty of that quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I've been there. I've been, the D coordinator. You try to maybe hide a guy to catch a break for your other guys, but we just kept. We saw that. So you weren't seeing things. That was, and our guys. Camden comes over and just smiles because he knows. Oh, same play. Okay, we'll just keep running it.
What's this district title mean for you and this group of kids?
It's big. Again, I think the season wasn't without adversity. You start out with a tough non-district schedule that didn't go all of our way. And again, I'm still taking play that. Man, our kids played good enough to beat Gilbert, and I heard they won. Gilbert ended up winning that district.
Right.
And that was on me, and I think we're better than them. So. We were in that, but the kids never gave up, and they, never got negative, and they believed in what we were doing. So, just to see that, and then, at the end of it, not gonna lie, it's a little special having your son be a senior. And that's something. My senior year, I did not win a district title, so it's something cool to experience with Michael too.
You care who you get next week?
Not really. We're at home, so I learned that lesson last year when I downloaded every team on the iPad west of I-35 as we went to watch Kai Nissen play over in Iowa City and get to right into Iowa City and see that we're going to Mount Vernon. I'm like, no, that wasn't on my radar, so I'm not even going to try to guess.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, congratulations. Appreciate you joining us. We'll talk to you again on the Peach Ranch Coaching Show coming up tomorrow morning.
Appreciate it, Jeff, and go Tigers.
Head coach Craig Rowetter again tonight. They win 35-7 over Atlantic to clinch that district championship.
From bump, set, spike to the crack of the bat, at Motor Inn of Carroll, we love our high school sports, and we love the opportunity to support our local schools, athletes, coaches, and parents. Through the hard work of our kids, we get the enjoyment of watching and listening to their activities. Other life lessons, like teamwork and citizenship, help create outstanding young women and men we are so proud to sponsor. Good luck to all of our local sports teams. From Motor Inn of Carroll.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 16 years running. Together, let's drive at Mackey Motors in Lake City. MackeyMotors.com.
We welcome you back to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here on Kick 106.7 and at KCIM. High school football season, Week 9 officially wrapped up. Regular season for 3A, 4A, and 5A, and then Week 1, or the first round, of the Iowa High School postseason football wrapped up for 2A, Class 1A, A, and 8-man. We'll run you through all those scores. We'll start in 8-man playoffs tonight. Audubon wins at home over Lennox, 58-20. Our Weavis season comes to an end with a loss to Gladbrook-Rhinebeck, 56-7. That game started close. Gladbrook-Rhinebeck able to pull away late part of that second quarter, and then the rest of the game they win again, 56-7. Coon Rapids-Barrett and Clarksville in a shootout. Clarksville wins by 10, 78-68. Just heard from head coach Nathan Lindsay of the Crusaders at the top of the hour here on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show. Southeast Warren over Boyer Valley, 46-35. It's a Bishop Garrigan getting by Kingsley Pearson at 57-12. Fremont Mills beats St. Edmund 62-7. Montezuma tops East Union at 46-28. Easton Valley puts up 80 as they knock off Belle Plaine 80-52. Edward Colesburg gets by Waco 58-7. Don Bosco beats Collins Maxwell 54-10. Woodbine rolls by Exira Elkhorn Kimballton 78-6. Iowa Valley shuts out Moravia 64-0. Turkey Valley beats Springville 60-15, and then Janesville beats Riceville in the Battle of the Vills 44-34.
Class A playoffs. One local area team was IKM Manning, who fell to West Sioux tonight 45-27. MMCRU victorious over Belmont Clem 49-7. West Hancock drops to Galen Catholic 34-18. East Marshall gets shut out by St. Ansgar 47-0. Wapsie Valley all over Starmont 50-3. Linville Sully shuts out Wapello 42-0. Pekin picks up the win over Earlham 42-7. ACGC beats Loma 33-7. Woodbury Central victorious over AHS-TW 21-14. Sibley O'Sheaton victorious over Newman Catholic 41-35. Nashua Plainfield drops a close one in overtime to West Fork 25-23. Columbus Catholic loses to North Lynn 59-14. Maquoketa Valley shuts out Danville 43-0. Madrid over North Butler 48-8. And it was Riverside dropping to BGM 35-30. And in the final game, St. Albert's loses to Mount Air 55-47.
All right, Class 1A. Two teams here from the local area. Both went down tonight. West Lyon over East Sac 48-6. And Underwood defeats South Central Calhoun 54-8. It was Lawton Bronson just getting by Manson Northwest Webster 14-12. Grundy Center shuts out EBF 57-0. Hudson in a close one over Central Springs 21-14. Beckman Catholic defeats Jessup 63-13. Regina shuts out Northeast 69-0. West Marshall 30 points better than Shenandoah 38-8. Trainer all over Ogden 49-7. Ridgeview defeats the defending state champion Tri-Center Neola Trojans 42-27. Emmetsburg falls to Hinton 34-28. South Hardin 35, Comanche 7. Clarion Dolefield Dows 48, Columbus Catholic 27. Cascade over Union Community 35-27. Sigourney Keota shuts out I-35 45-0, and Pleasantville defeats Durant 42-14.
Turn the page to Class 2A. The Kemper Knights at home. They played the early game at the Carroll Athletic Field tonight. They win over Grandview Christian 35-0. In overtime, it is Cherokee over Spirit Lake in a shootout 58-57. Osage beats Boyd Hall Rock Valley 22-14. Roland Story gets by Anamosa 28-14. It's West Branch in a close one over Denver 22-15. Mid-Prairie beats North Fayette Valley 34-19. PCM rolls by West Liberty 42-6. Clarinda and Pella Christian in a close one. Pella Christian comes away with a 27-24 victory. OABCIG goes on the road and knocks off Western Christian 34-17. Is Unity Christian in an upset over Okoboji 28-13. Wakan beats Bellevue 34-13. Hampton Dumont and a Woodward Ranger, a high-scoring contest. Hampton Dumont wins 57-36. And then in a defensive battle, Alburnett over Crestwood at 13-6. Wilton gets by Dike New Hartford 50-14. Mediapolis goes on the road and beats Centerville 28-13. And Van Meter at home knocks off South Tama County 45-6.
And in Week 9, regular season, Class 3A District 6, we had Carroll clinching the district tonight in an undefeated season with knocking off Atlantic 35-7. Harlan 48-0 all over Greene County. And Creston knocks off Perry 54-13.
We've got three more coaches to talk to yet here in the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show. We'll be back with East Sac County's Eric McCullough as they wrap up their season with a loss tonight to West Lyon. McCullough comes and talks to us when we come back in the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show.
Clogged gutters, dirty windows, lint-filled dryer vents. Don't wait till it's too late. At Curb Appeal of WCI, we make home care simple. Our gutter cleaning protects your roof and foundation from costly water damage. Our dryer vent cleaning improves airflow, lowers energy bills, and reduces fire risk. And our window cleaning leaves your home brighter, streak-free, and full of natural light. Protect your home, save money, enjoy the view. Call Curb Appeal of WCI today at 712-210-9580.
Big things are happening in Outlaw Graphics in Carroll. Outlaw Graphics is on the move, literally. They're excited to announce they've expanded into a brand new shop, bringing you more space, more capabilities, and even more ways to help your business, team, or your event stand out. From eye-catching vehicle wraps and commercial signage to custom apparel, if you want your logo on it, they can make it happen. Planning a special event? Make it memorable with personalized t-shirts, koozies, or hats designed just for you. Watch their new space come to life. Follow the excitement on Facebook at Outlaw Signs, Graphics, and Apparel.
Welcome to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show. This is Craig Lux here with head coach Eric McCullough talking about the East Sac final game of the season tonight. Coach, not quite the way we wanted to end the season, but a very good team that you were up against. Give us a little recap.
Yeah, Craig, we watched on film and, everything that people have seen on Bound and things like that. They're definitely a very quality team all the way through. They just mistake-free type football, very physical up front. They definitely control the line of scrimmage, make great plays, big plays at times that, and we just got out of position. We started with the ball, and I think we punted our first 4 or 5 possessions, maybe 1 first down in all those. But we did do a great job of our punt coverage because we definitely seen on film, and you can see in the stats, they've returned several punt returns for touchdowns. We didn't give any of those things up. But at halftime, right before half, we actually put a nice little drive together, which I was super proud of the boys. We got down the 15-yard line. It was continuous clock by then, so we had to burn a couple timeouts to try and put one in the end zone there before half, but their defense held strong, and we had a couple miscues. But just to put ourselves in that position because their varsity defense hadn't been scored touchdown on them all year. So real happy with our kids and how we responded to that. We talked at halftime, how the second half to go, 2 quarters left. I believe we kicked off to them. They had a great series and went down and scored again. And then we responded, went down, and we were able to score with Beckham Kluver hitting Carson Schmidt on a long touchdown pass, I believe, probably 30-plus yards. Not sure, we don't have stats, but and then we went for 2, didn't get it, and then I believe it was that was in the end of the third quarter, and then they took the ball again, and we stopped them. Caused a fumble, I believe, right before they scored. We recovered it, and our defense got our offense, got a first down, and then the clock ran out. So, but overall, I thought our kids did a great job.
Yeah, we talked about this, Coach, just a little bit off air there about Westland being the number 1 team in the state for a reason. You guys battled hard. It sounds like you did some good preparation with the special teams.
We did. That's one thing we talked about is just got to stay in your lane and do your job and make them come back, and we did. We did those things that we needed to, and made them go out and earn it with their offense. So there were some good things that way, and when you got the chains on our sideline, and then they just kind of made the comment that's the closest the team has gotten to scoring a touchdown on the varsity defense. Make sure, we'll take a few moral victories here and there, I think, on the night, and the kids' resilience has been all year. From when we started at the beginning of the year to be able to make the playoffs, I think is a huge accomplishment for our boys, and getting a chance to go play the number 1 team. I mean, someone has to do it. We stepped up, we took the challenge on, and I think it can be happy with kind of how we went out with it.
Well, a lot to be proud of this year, Coach, without a doubt. You guys battled hard all season in a tough district, and you came out with that position to be able to get yourself to the playoffs, and congratulations on a tough season. And you guys battled hard all year.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about with the kids. We've had a lot of adversity here and there. Just different things on and off the field, and just to make it the 4th year in a row to qualify, to have that week 9, something we can be proud of, and hopefully we can continue to build it as the years continue to go.
All right. Well, this has been head coach Eric McCullough. Congratulations on making the playoffs this year, Coach, and best of luck with next season.
Hey, we appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Have a great day.
New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas is proud to sponsor our area teams because supporting our communities is what we're all about. When it comes time to buy your next new or used vehicle, look here first. At New Way Ford, you'll find a great selection, fair prices, and a team that makes the car buying process easy, relaxed, and fun. Plus, with free oil changes for life, you can drive with confidence long after the sale. New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas.
From bump, set, spike, to the crack of the bat. At Motor Inn of Carroll, we love our high school sports, and we love the opportunity to support our local schools, athletes, coaches, and parents. Through the hard work of our kids, we get the enjoyment of watching and listening to their activities. Other life lessons, like teamwork and citizenship, help create outstanding young women and men we are so proud to sponsor. Good luck to all of our local sports teams. From Motor Inn of Carroll.
Skip the ladder and hassle this holiday season. Let Curb Appeal of WCI light up your home. Hi, this is Scott. Our team custom installs bright, energy-efficient LED lights cut to the perfect length. Go for a clean, solid glow or a dazzling pattern that will wow the whole neighborhood. When the season ends, we'll take them down and store them for you next year, and back it with a 1-year warranty. Looking for something long-term? Ask about our permanent lighting system, perfect for holidays, game days, or any season. Curb Appeal, holiday lights made hassle-free. Call 712-210-9580 today.
Auto Group Scoreboard Show rolls on here on 1380 AM, 95.1 FM at KCIM, as well as Kick 106.7. We will catch up with I-Committing Wolves head coach Corey McCarville when we come back as they lose tonight to West Sioux 45-27.
Bruner, Reinhardt & Morton is a general practice law firm that's been providing highly ethical, professional, and dedicated legal services to their clients since 1936 in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. Bruner, Reinhardt & Morton is a 4-attorney firm with a combined 97 years of experience. For more information, call Barry, Dave, Eric, or Jessica at 792-3480 or visit BrunerLegal.com.
Welcome to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show. With me tonight is Corey McCarville, the head coach of the IKM Manning Wolves. The Wolves fell to West Sioux tonight, 45-27. Hey, congratulations, Corey, for making the playoffs and having the opportunity to play tonight. Tell us a little bit about how your game went.
Yeah, we just got off to a slow start. They had some really explosive plays in the first half, and we didn't tackle well in the beginning part of the game. We had a hard time getting off blocks. They're a very athletic team. We really battled hard in the second half. We crawled back into it, but we just weren't quite able to get a couple stops at the end of the game and give ourselves a chance. So it was a hard-fought game. I think it was a good game for all of our guys. The slow start just really hurt us.
Okay, slow start. When you talk about a slow start, that weren't running the ball well, or any passing game, or they were taking away stuff, what was the slow? Just not quite ready to go.
No, they got off to, they scored a couple of touchdowns, so we were down a couple of touchdowns right away in the first half. We had a couple of really nice drives in the first half, but we weren't able to get any scores. We weren't able to get any points off of long sustained drives. And I think we were down 21-7 or something at half. I can't remember what the score was now off the top of my head, but we really battled hard in the third and fourth quarter, and I think we got it within 10 or 11 points, and we just weren't able to get stops at the end.
Yeah, they've traditionally been pretty good. Did they have pretty good size, pretty good quickness? Did you have a good week of practice going in, being prepared for them?
Oh, no, I thought we had a good week of practice. They have a little bit of both. They're extremely quick. Their running back, quarterback are great athletes, and they have pretty good size up front, really good size up front. All those guys up front are, they're 5'10", 5'11", around 200, and somewhere between 230 and 280 pounds. So really nice size up front, and they're pretty good athletes, and they move well. So it's just a challenge. They throw it well and they can run it well. So they're a multi-dimensional team. They're really good.
All right. So the season's over now. Give us a little bit about how your JV freshmen or JV reserves, whatever you played at that level, and your junior high teams do this year.
Both those teams, I think, were right around 500. We're trying to develop some younger guys, and really the biggest thing I'm going to stress to them is we really got to hit the weight room hard over the next year. We got to get our guys bigger, stronger, faster, to compete with these top-level teams in Class A. And hopefully guys buy into the weight program and continue to do that. If you're going to be successful, you got to put in work.
Sure. So number-wise with those, so with your, how many seniors did you lose this year? Or will you lose?
I think we're going to graduate 8 seniors, and I think next year, we'll gain 10 or 11 freshmen next year. So total numbers, I think, will be +2 or so.
So, and the junior high teams did fairly well, or?
They were about 500.
So you got some skill players and some quickness and things like that you're looking for coming.
Yeah, we're always looking for quickness and skill guys in linemen. We're always looking.
Okay, I guess my question is are there some possibilities coming up?
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any guys that are coming up that are going to be able to play immediately. They're gonna have to develop over a year or two before they're going to be ready. But I think that's Class A football. You not every team is like West Sioux and just gets to reload the gun. We're gonna have to develop guys.
Yeah, and the kids come and they work, and like you said, we got to get in the weight room. We got to get bigger, faster, stronger, and develop that mentality. Correct.
Correct.
All right. Hey. Congratulations again for making the playoffs. I know the outcome wasn't quite what you wanted, but, you got to play tonight, and you had another week of practice with the kids. So best of luck next year, and have a good rest of the school year.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that's been Corey McCarville from the IKM Manning Wolves.
Feld Fire of Carroll is the choice of homeowners and business professionals. They chose Feld Fire because of the local and prompt service, 24/7 technician support, and the ability to control their security device from their mobile device. That makes keeping your property safer even easier. A professional Feld representative can help you create a protection plan for your home or business. No matter what you're trying to protect, they've got you covered. Feld Fire of Carroll, proud supporters of our area high school athletes.
New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas is proud to sponsor our area teams because supporting our communities is what we're all about. When it comes time to buy your next new or used vehicle, look here first. At New Way Ford, you'll find a great selection, fair prices, and a team that makes the car buying process easy, relaxed, and fun. Plus, with free oil changes for life, you can drive with confidence long after the sale. New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas.
We welcome you back to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here on Kick 106.7. We've got one coach left to talk to. That's Brian Case of South Central Calhoun. We'll talk to him coming up in just a little bit. We'll run you through some more of the scores from the area districts as well as the playoffs. We'll start in a Class of 3A, District 6. Carroll picks up a district title tonight with a win over Atlantic 35-7. Creston beats Perry 54-13, and Harlan gets by Greene County 48-0.
Class 2A, first round playoffs. We had Kemper shutting out Grandview Christian tonight, 35-0. Cherokee in a thriller squeaks by Spirit Lake 58-57 in overtime. Boyden Hole Rock Valley falls to Osage 22-14. Anamosa drops to Roland Story 28-14. West Branch over Denver 22-15. Mid Prairie was victorious over North Fayette Valley, 34-19. West Liberty falls to PCM, 42-6. Pella Christian comes up winners over Clarinda, 27-24. OABCIG knocks off Western Christian, 34-17. Unity Christian beats Okoboji, 28-13 in the upset. Bellevue beats Walk-On beats Bellevue 34-14. Hampton Dumont beats Woodward Granger 57-36. Crestwood falls to Alburnett 6-13. Dyke New Hartford is beaten by Wilton 50-14. And Centerville drops to Minneapolis 28-13. And South Tama County was beaten by Van Meter 45-6.
All right, Class 1A playoffs. Two local teams fall in this class. It was West Lyon over East Sac 48-6, and Underwood over South Central Calhoun 54-8. In the other scores, Lawton Bronson gets by Manson Northwest Webster 14-12. Grundy Center shuts out EBF 57-0. Hudson by a touchdown over Central Springs, 21-14. Beckman Catholic defeats Jessup 63-13. Regina shuts out Northeast 69-0. West Marshall by 30 over Shenandoah 38-8. Trainer gets a big win over Ogden 49-7. Ridgeview takes down the defending champion Tri-Center Neola and Trojans 42-27. Hinton over Emmitsburg 34-28. South Hardin over Comanche 35-7. Clarion Goldfield Dows beats Columbus Catholic 48-27. Cascade over Union Community 35-27. Sigourney Keota shuts out I-35 45-0. And Pleasantville defeats Durant 42-14.
In the Class A playoffs, IKM Manning goes on the road. They lose to a very good West Sioux team tonight, 45-27. MMCRU gets by Belmont Clemmy, 49-7. Galen Catholic goes on the road, knocks off West Hancock in what might be the upset of the night, 34-18. St. Ansgar beats East Marshall 47-0. It's Waspie Valley over Starmount 50-3. Linville-Soley beats Wapello 42-0. Pekin gets by Earlham 42-7. ACGC at home knocks off Loma 33-7. Woodbury Central beats HSTW in a tight one 21-14. Sibley Oshedon gets the win on the road over Newman Catholic 41-35. West Fork in overtime over Nasha Plainfield 25-23. North Lynn knocks off Columbus Catholic at home in a blowout 59-14. Maquoketa Valley shuts out Danville 43-0. Madrid beats North Butler by 40 at 48-8. And BGM and Riverside in a really good ball game. BGM wins 35-30. And Mount Air St. Albert in a really high-scoring ball game. Mount Air wins that one 55-47.
8-man first-round playoffs with 3 of our local teams there. We'll start off with Audubon. Audubon is victorious over Lennox 58-20. Arweva drops to Gladbrook Rhinebeck 56-7. And in the shootout of the night, Coon Rapids Bayard drops to Clarksville 78-68. North Union victorious over GTRA 56-48. And it was Bedford over Wayne 54-6. Southeast Warren beats Booyer Valley 46-35. Bishop Garrigan wins over Kingsley Pearson 57-12. Fremont Mills all over St. Ed's 62-7. East Union drops to Montezuma 46-28. Easton Valley in another high-scoring ball game all over Belle Plaine 80-52. Waco drops to Edgewood Colesburg 58-7. Don Bosco all over Collins Maxwell 54-10. Woodbine is big over Exira Elkhorn Kimballton 78-6. Iowa Valley shuts out Moravia 64-0. Turkey Valley beats Springfield 60-15. And in the Battle of the Villes, we'll call it, Janesville over Riceville 44-34.
We got one last coach to talk with. We'll talk with Brian Case of South Central Calhoun as the Titan season comes to an end tonight. We'll be back with this here on the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show.
New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas is proud to sponsor our area teams because supporting our communities is what we're all about. When it comes time to buy your next new or used vehicle, look here first. At New Way Ford, you'll find a great selection, fair prices, and a team that makes the car buying process easy, relaxed, and fun. Plus, with free oil changes for life, you can drive with confidence long after the sale. New Way Ford in Coon Rapids and Pocahontas.
When athletes are at peak performance, they need electrolytes and carbs to keep them fueled and in the game. Athletes who give 100% know to reach for Gatorade from Pepsi Beverages of Carroll. From the pros to high school to weekend athletes, Gatorade keeps you hydrated and keeps you in the game. Reach for Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Beverages of Carroll.
Feld Fire of Carroll is the choice of homeowners and business professionals. They chose Feld Fire because of the local and prompt service, 24/7 technician support, and the ability to control their security device from their mobile device. That makes keeping your property safer even easier. The professional Feld representative can help you create a protection plan for your home or business. No matter what you're trying to protect, they've got you covered. Feld Fire of Carroll, proud supporters of our area high school athletes.
Bruner, Reinhardt & Morton is a general practice law firm that's been providing highly ethical, professional, and dedicated legal services to their clients since 1936 in Carroll, Glidden, Coon Rapids, and Guthrie Center communities. Bruner, Reinhardt & Morton is a 4-attorney firm with a combined 97 years of experience. For more information, call Barry, Dave, Eric, or Jessica at 792-3480 or visit BrunerLegal.com.
Since 1968, Mackey Motors has been serving Lake City and the surrounding communities with new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Mackey Motors is a full-service dealership providing oil changes in our Quick Lube Express bays, a service department with world-class trained technicians, a body shop and collision center with the latest equipment, a full vehicle detailing department, or come talk with one of our highly knowledgeable sales staff.
Recipient of the GM Mark of Excellence Award for 16 years running. Together, let's drive at Mackey Motors in Lake City. MackeyMotors.com.
Welcome to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show, Playoff Edition. With me on the phone now is Brian Case from the South Central Calhoun Titans. Congratulations, Coach, for making the playoffs to start with. The game didn't come out so well tonight, so tell us a little bit about it.
No, yeah, I mean, thanks for saying that and getting into the postseason here. You know, I've never been a big proponent of 4 teams making it into the playoffs. I've always been somebody about 32 should be cut down to 16, but and this is the reason why. You have some teams that probably shouldn't be in the playoffs when you get into the state level type stuff, but that's my personal opinion. That's just the way it goes. But, you know, we ran into a buzzsaw tonight. We knew that Underwood was really, really good, and they proved that. I think we were down 30-0 after the first quarter. We were down 46-0 at the half, and ended up 54-8. I think our varsity ended up scoring against their JV, but you know, ended the season 4-5. Credit our seniors; they stuck with it all the way through. Ended up their 4-year career with a 17-19 record. But you know, we're definitely going to miss these guys. I think that they did some things, and they got some kids headed in the right direction. We just got to be able to take a step forward and try and get to the level where Underwood is at.
Yeah. So, I mean, going into the week, you know, you knew that, you know, you were going to play a good team. So, in preparation, did you have a good week of practice leading up to tonight?
Jim, we probably had our best week of practice that we've had the entire year. Tuesday was really good. Wednesday was really good. Even yesterday's walkthrough was really good. And I thought we had high energy, and the kids were having some fun, and they were playing excited, aggressive football, and doing a lot of things really well. You know, we just we don't have the kids that can compare to the Underwood style of play to practice against, and that's a big difference when you got a kid back here at Underwood that is going to Iowa to play baseball and so forth, and you've got a bunch of fast receivers and you got a really big lineman, and their execution was really, really good. They played really aggressive football as well. But during practice, I thought we played pretty well this week. We practiced pretty well. Just you know, you ran into a buzzsaw, and you know, give credit where credit is due. I mean, Underwood is a really good football team.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing, you know, throughout the whole season and stuff. So let's just take a different step and go toward you know, the younger kids that played tonight that you're going to have for next year. Did some of them, you know, do a nice job, or, you know, so things are looking up for next year?
Yeah, I mean, we have 7 seniors on our team right now, and we actually start 6 sophomores, play an awful lot of juniors as well. And actually, when you look at our whole roster and what's coming back, the kids that played a lot of minutes this year, we look at it from an offensive standpoint. We pretty much have to replace 2 kids up front in the line of scrimmage, and defensively, we've had enough kids that have been playing all year that, you know, we think we got to replace basically 1 linebacker. So when you look at it that way, things should look pretty good for next year, but it's a matter of our kids getting in the weight room, doing the things in the off season to get better. We got to get more physical. We have to be more football, have more football IQ, a better football IQ, a better sense of things that are going on. And if we're able to do that, especially in the off season and so forth, and I think I'm pretty excited about next year's possibilities. It's just a matter of whether our kids are going to take that step forward or not coming out of the off season.
Yeah. So, you know, like for your JV seasons, what kind of JV season did you have?
Started out real well, Jim. I think we ended up 3-5.
Okay.
And our JVR never won any games at all. I know our 8th grade program was over. In our 7th grade program, we won 2 games. So there's still some possibilities. Like I said, we were playing a lot of young kids at the varsity level this year, and there's times that we look like a JV team out there against different varsity opponents. But there are other times that we looked really, really good. So hopefully we can take a step forward in the off season here, like I said, and good things are going to happen for us next year in 2026.
Yeah, good. And, the big key is, too, as far as I look at it a little bit, is, getting the kids to come back out, maybe grab another couple, and keep your 8th graders coming in as freshmen, as the new ones, to have a good group there and just say, hey, this is what we got to do now. It's your choice. If you want to be good, this is what we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, the kids that we've had right now, because we're 17 and 19 over the last 4 years, my fear is that kids would think that that's what, we're supposed to be like, and that's how it's supposed to be played. Well, you know me, and you've been around me long enough. I think for the previous 21 years that we were averaging winning 8 games a year, 8 plus games a year. So, I mean, that's not the norm, and that's not what we're used to. We have higher expectations over here. So hopefully we can get back to that level.
All right. Well, I hope you do, Brian. And so, hey, congratulations for making the playoffs, and get to the off season, and good luck.
Jim, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Appreciate everything you've done for us all year.
All right. Thanks. That's been Brian Case from South Central Calhoun Titans.
Week 9 in the first round of the postseason officially wrapped up here on 1380 AM, 95.1 FM at KCIM. KC Miners, Jim Maltz here, Craig Lux with you here in the New Way Auto Group, a Scoreboard show as we officially wrap up the Scoreboard show for tonight. 3 teams will be in action next week, guys. Carroll likely going to be at home. We don't know who they will play yet. We'll have Audubon at home, and then Kemper at home. So 3 of the area teams that are still alive are going to be at home coming up next week. So it should be a really good round as, Carroll's in the first round of the postseason, but then as well, Audubon and Kemper have already got their blood taste of that postseason. They'll be back at home next week as well.
Yeah, let's hope we go 3 for 3 next week.
Yeah, the thing is what everybody hopes that we go 3 for 3 next week. You can tune in. The pairings come out tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock from the association. Mason and Jeff will have those put together shortly after 10 for you guys, and you can check that out at sports.1380kcim.com, as well as the Facebook page, as well as Twitter. All those will be posted coming up next week on what the schedule will be. For Craig Lux and Jim Mulders, this is Casey Miners saying thank you for tuning in to the New Way Auto Group Scoreboard Show here, Week 9 edition, as well as first round of the playoffs. We'll be back next week here from 10 to midnight.
When you need to know, KCIM is the place to listen on 1380 AM and 95.1 FM. This